was a poor boy in a small village who works 17 hours a day in the fields with just one meal a day, now that this same boy in the future has built a car company worth billions. This is the story of Chung Ju-Yung, the founder of Hyundai. Chung Ju-Yung was born in 1915 in a small village in Korea where his dream was to become a school teacher, but the family's financial condition was so poor that he couldn't even complete his own education. He had to work in the fields with his family day and night during his childhood. Even after so much hard work, there were many days when the family didn't have enough to eat, let alone proper clothes and medical care. He had to go to nearby towns to sell firewood, and there he saw people with instant food and good clothes without having to work day and night in the fields. Seeing all this, he became frustrated with his poverty and his family's life and started wanting a better life for himself. One day, he read in a newspaper article that a big construction project was underway in a nearby city, and workers were needed for that project. As he read this, his heart started racing. And in 1932, at the age of 16, Chung took a shocking decision. He was about to leave his home and run away to the city. One night, Chung secretly set out towards the city with a friend. After walking about 160 kilometers, he reached the city and took up the job of construction labor there. The work was very difficult and the earnings were very low, but Chung was very happy because for the first time in his life he was able to earn independently. This continued for about 2 months, after which he was caught. His father found him, and he had to return to the village and start farming. The family was very happy with his return, but not happy. These 2 months of work had awakened in him a passion for construction and civil engineering, and he knew that he would never be able to escape poverty by working in the fields, and that is why he tried to escape twice more. But both times his father would find him within a few days. Finally, in 1934, at the age of 18, he makes his 4th attempt, and this time no one stops him. They reach Seoul, which is today the capital of South Korea. Whatever work he got there, he did it. First, he worked as a construction laborer, and then as a factory worker, and then finally he got the job of a delivery boy in a rice store. The customers and shop owners were so impressed with his work that within 6 months, he got the responsibility of taking over the management of the store from the delivery boy. After this, Chung worked hard and grew the shop on his own. In 1937, the store owner fell seriously ill and took a surprising decision. Seeing Chung's hard work, he handed over the store to Chung. At the age of 22, Chung had transformed from an employee to a business owner. Over the next 2 years, Chung worked hard to build trust and reputation in the market, due to which the business grew rapidly. Everything was going well when a tragedy occurred. It was the time of World War II, and at that time, Korea was under Japanese rule. The Japanese wanted their military to get adequate supplies during the war, due to which they took ownership of all the rice shops. Also, they took the shop from Chung, and the business he had built over years of hard work was destroyed in one fell swoop. Yung was very sad, but he did not give up. If I do any work with all my heart, I can be successful in it. With this thinking, he started looking for a business in which there was no interference from the Japanese government. Very soon, he zeroed in on the car repair business and opened a service garage by taking a loan of $3,000. But this time, the luck was so bad that within a month of opening, the garage caught fire and everything was burnt to ashes. The situation was quite difficult. He has to repay his loan and also compensate the customers for their losses due to the... A normal person would have given up in such a situation, but Chung faced the problem like always. He took a fresh loan of $3,500 and built a better garage than before. Chung noticed that the biggest problem customers faced was that it took weeks for their cars to be repaired. Therefore, he made speed his main focus. Whereas a competitor used to take 20 days to complete a certain repair, today he could do the same. His garage became so successful that in the next 3 years, its workforce had grown to 80 employees. By this time, Chung had repaid his entire loan and had also settled his family in Seoul. The business was growing rapidly, and then another major disaster happened. Japan had to make war-related equipment for World War II, so Japan took ownership of his garage and merged it with a local steel plant. Once again, the business he had built over years of hard work was taken away from him in one fell swoop. Had come back to the square. He had to return to the village with his family. But this time he had savings of $50,000 and was confident that he would build a business again. With the end of World War II, Japan's rule in Korea also ended. The Soviet Union had influence in the northern area of Korea, and America had influence in because both of them fought together against Japan in World War II. Due to this, Korea got divided into North and South Korea. 1946, Chung comes back Seoul and restarts his car repair business. The business was old, but this time the name was new. The business of Hyundai Auto Service, Hyundai mean modern. Car repair was going well when Chung noticed that America was building a building for its military force. He spotted a big opportunity in the construction business. He did not have much experience in construction, but the passion for construction, which he had gained by working as a laborer in his young days, was still alive, and that is why in 1947, at 31 age, Hyundai Civil Works Company established and took entry into construction business. In the beginning, he got a lot of small jobs, but with time, his company was getting major construction projects, and now this had become his major business. Everything was going well when another twist comes in the story. In June 1950, North Korea attacked South Korea. North Korea had come very close to Seoul, due to which had to leave his entire work and flee to that city with his savings. But even after such a big crisis did not sit idly by. At this time, the U.S. Army was fighting the North Korean Army along with South Korea, and they needed a warehouse and Army headquarters. Chung observed that Americans had no shortage of money. All they needed was reliable and timely delivery, and Chung gave American just that. He started back with a small team and adopted the can-do motto, meaning he was ready to take up any construction project if the price was right. There was a war going on and he faced many problems. There were losses many times, but once he gave up his life, he never left any project midway. Due to this reliability, he developed a very strong relationship with the American. The war ended in 1952, but Chung still kept getting contracts from the Americans, and later the South Korean government also started rapidly building bridges, dams, and roads to rebuild the country. Hyundai played a major role in all this and saw potential growth in the business. South Korea's largest dam, Soyang Dam, and its most important expressway, Gyeongbu Expressway, has been built by Hyundai, 1960. He was in his early 50s and was the owner of a successful construction company. He was not satisfied with this. Chung thousands of kilometers of roads had built, and now it was the turn to make cars that would run on those roads. 1967, Chung established Hyundai Motor Company. 1968 made a deal with Ford in which they were going to assemble Ford's Cortina cars. This joint venture ran successfully for 2 years, after which conflicts started developing between the two companies. Ford did not want us to make our own cars, and in 1973, Chung, that is why, ended this partnership and immediately started looking for new partners. He tried to make a deal with companies like General Motors and Volkswagen for manufacturing technology, but everyone refused. Finally, in the same year, he signed an agreement with Mitsubishi Motors of Japan. Mitsubishi was ready to provide car manufacturing technology to Honda. The best part of this deal was that Hyundai could sell the car with its own branding and name. At the same time, the South Korean government also issued an order to the automobile company that they had to make a citizen car. A car that is affordable and reliable and uses only parts made in South Korea. In 1976, Chung set up a new plant and Hyundai created South Korea's first ever mass-produced car, the Hyundai Pony. Due to its affordability, this car became so successful in South Korea that within no time Honda captured 60% market share and became the largest car company there. But there was a catch for South Korea. The total car market was only 30,000 cars, which was not sufficient to be profitable. Also, Hyundai Pony was a huge success in South Korea, but it was an equally big failure in the overseas market. The quality of the car was not good. It used to get painted in summer and had regular mechanical issues, and due to these reasons, Hyundai Motor Company was running in loss for the last 7 years. People told Chung that he should close this company as soon as possible. But Chung's decision shocked everyone. Far from closing the company, he was going to build a new car factory in which 300,000 cars could be produced every year. The management of the company did not understand this decision. After all, who will buy 300,000 cars in a market of 30,000 cars? Chung knew the answer. The South Korean economy was growing rapidly, and every year thousands of people were emerging from poverty and becoming economically empowered, which meant that the demand for cars was going to increase rapidly in the next few years. Hyundai new cars were going to be made for export to specific foreign countries. It became factory-ready in 1980, and in 1982, Hyundai launched its Pony 2 car with many improvements. Not only was this car a super hit in South Korea, but it was also successfully exported to countries like Africa, Latin America, and Canada. In the next few years, Hyundai became profitable by selling 400,000 cars. Hyundai was now established as a decent car company at the global level, but the topes of the world and the biggest car market USA was still to be cracked. In international, to become a major car company from a decent car company, it was necessary to be successful in the USA. When Hyundai studied the U.S. market, it saw that the Japanese had captured the compact car segment, and the U.S. company already had strong competition in the mid and large size market. That's why Hyundai targeted the subcompact market, where competition was virtually zero. Also, Honda saw that the market for second-hand cars in the USA was huge. He offered his new Hyundai Excel to these customers at the price of a second-hand car, that too with a 5-year warranty. This strategy shook up the U.S. car market. Second-hand car buyers instantly shifted to Hyundai Excel. In 1986, Hyundai sold around 170,000 Excel in the USA, and in 1987, around 260,000 sold. In both these years, Hyundai Excel became the top-selling imported car in USA. Till then, no other car company had seen such huge initial success in the U.S. market. And with this, it became established as a major car company at the global level. In the same year, retired from Hyundai and took the title of honorary chairman, after which his brother and sons took charge of the company and run the company with the same determination as before. Honda is the third largest car company in 2022 the world, and they had sold about 4 million cars and sold. Although Hyundai is globally known only for its car business, but very few people know that there are total 42 different companies in each group, like Hyundai Elevator, Honda Information Technology, and Hyundai Heavy Industries, which is the world's largest shipbuilding company. And it is because of Hyundai that South Korea has become the world's largest ship-producing country by surpassing Japan. Not a normal company for South Korea. Hyundai is an institution that rebuilt the country, created thousands of jobs, and brought global recognition to South Korea. And all this was started by a village boy who did not even have basic facilities like food, education, healthcare, faith, passion, a vision, and most importantly, a desire for better.